Hello, I'm filming this early in the morning before I drive to leadership training at 3 a.m. In the prayer room, so I'm sorry about that. This is my book report. I did my book the report on Captivating by John and Stacey Eldridge, which was ironic because one of my friends had recommended this book to me after I went through a kind of rough breakup in November. Said that it really helped with her breakup, and yeah, so she recommended it to me. I'd already started reading a couple chapters. I hadn't finished it yet when I saw that it was on the list, and so I was really excited to get to read that for the book report. But the main theme of this book is discussing the desires and of a woman's heart, the main core desires, as well as the question that every woman kind of asks themselves, the question that is needs to be answered by God ultimately. And it's a companion book to the first one, which was called Wild at Heart, which was discussing the main desires of a man's heart and how they're meant to kind of complement each other, and then how God is meant to fulfill the desires of each person's heart, and then they can both connect together as well. That didn't make sense anyways. But the three desires that are mentioned in the book, which is first off is the desire to be romanced, which is the fact that every woman wants to be wanted, desired, pursued, sought after. And I mean, if you read that, a lot of people could assume that it's suggesting that a man isn't supposed to seek after and pursue a woman, but the book suggests that it is God's role to first of all satisfy that desire, to that ultimately no man can fully satisfy that desire, only God can. And then once she is satisfied with being pursued and sought after and loved by God, then another person can come into her life. The next is to play an irreplaceable role in a great adventure, because a lot of times we assume that men are the ones that are made for the adventure and the fantasy and all of that, but women are also created to crave adventure and not just boring routines of life, but they are made to partake in an adventure along with others. And the third thing is to unveil beauty. Every woman wants to be beautiful on the inside and out, and her journey to unveiling that beauty that is inside of her is also a way of unveiling the glory of God. So that was not a very good summary. I'm terrible at these. But I really enjoyed the book. I think it has some very important truths in it. I resonate with a lot of the things that were said. I didn't realize that there was a controversy surrounding the book because there's apparently some claims that aren't like very biblically backed up, and I didn't realize that, and I don't necessarily have a stance on that. I think that there were some things that might not have been fully biblically proven, because a lot of the support that is used is through stories and examples, and there's not a lot of biblical support behind all of it, even though they do mention a lot of passages of scripture. But there's just a lot of controversy surrounding the book, but I don't necessarily want to focus on that. I just want to focus on the things that I actually learned from it, because I did gain a lot of insight from it. And I think this book was very helpful for me. Like, my friend recommended it to me because I was going through a breakup, and I think that has been a struggle for me this entire year, is that question of, am I lovely, am I beautiful, am I wanted? And I think I have realized that over the course of my life I've used a lot of boyfriends or relationships and friendships to kind of fulfill that desire of being wanted and being beautiful. And I am learning slowly. It's not something I've fully learned yet, but this book definitely helped. But it's something that I'm slowly learning, which is to just trust Jesus, and for Jesus to be the one that gives me my value and my purpose, and the one that pursues me first, and to be satisfied with that first, because if not, I will always be looking for it in all my relationships, and I will not ever be satisfied, because only Jesus can fully satisfy that desire. And I only have like 20 more seconds, so I need to hurry. But another thing that I really liked was the fact that it also points out, there's a quote, I'm trying to read it, but it says, Christianity changes dramatically when we discover that it too is a great romance. And I think that's really important to understand that life is about romance, but it should be about the romance between us and our Creator, and how much He loves us and desires us and is pursuing us constantly every day. So I really liked this book. It was good. It was very helpful. It applied to my life in many different ways, and I have discovered a lot. I was a little bit, I didn't believe at first that those desires would be true, but after some self-examination, I realized that it's very true, that a lot of the desires of my heart are to be beautiful and wanted and sought after, and take part in a great adventure, and only God can fulfill those. I went a minute over and I apologize. I'm so sorry. Okay, goodbye.